All right, guys. Today we're going to be talking about how I lost $55 in total in the stock market. To start off at 3 a.m., we took a trade on GU, and this was the big loss. It was like 90. Get a fact check on my loss real quick for you guys. Pull up the MetaTrader. Correct, we lost $97.50. Pretty big loss there. Now, two things I learned here. Okay, let's go over them. So one thing I learned is lot size is now 1.0 from now on, because like I lost 1.5% of my account. I don't want to lose more than 1% of my account before I gain 1%. Understandable? Understandable. Let's talk about why I entered this trade though. So the time frame I was looking, we were bullish. You know, that Thursday, Friday, we're bullish kind of. 4 hour, we were bullish. And what I really liked is we rejected pre-market. We reject off this order block that I had marked out. We came down, boom, boom, reject. And that's what I personally liked. Now, I'll tell you why and the reason why I got stopped out now. Well, after. So we have this accumulation, we come down, and we sweep. Well, before I enter, we sweep. We just touched the order blocks. Basically, what I'm getting at. We touched the order block. We're bullet bearish on the 1 hour. I'm trying to look back at this trade. It's hard to remember why I did something. So we rip up. We're getting good confirmation here, which I like. You know, we're rejecting the order block once again. This is my big thing. We rejected it. Reject, reject, reject once again. Now, my entry was off a 5-minute low key. Now, what did I enter off of? Personally, I entered off of, where was it? I think it might have been a 1-minute fair value gap. I think it was. Yep, right here. So market opens, you know, I waited to get in a trade. There's this 5-minute fair value gap pre-market right here. We come down and respect it. So this is kind of giving me my confluence that, like, okay, we're probably going to go up. Like, we're respecting these 5-minute fair value gap to a T. I'll pull it back up for you guys. Where is it? Oh, don't change. The fair value gap was right here, and you see we respect it perfectly. Just wanted to show you guys that. But take you back to my trade. And I mark out this 1-minute fair value gap up here that we form, big move up, because pre-market we come down, respect it again, go up. Okay, I like that. I need to find an entry. 1-minute fair value gap, or 1-minute imbalance, more likely is what you want to call it, formed. We come back, touch into it, and go up. And I get entered right here. This is where my entry was. And that was solid. You know, I liked it personally. Had my stops below the fair value gap down here. Had a good profit target right here. Like, first profit target was a 135. I had these areas of liquidity. Now we would have got those eventually. But let's talk about why we got stopped out. So as you see, there's this area right here. We come up, we touch it, and we freaking fall. But why? I'll tell you why right now. Now, I had this marked out as one of my TPs, but I didn't stick to it because it was like a 0.67 reward. Like, it wasn't even a 1-to-1 trade. And, you know, I'm trying to get better at my take profits. But let's talk about it right here. We'll get rid of this. Okay. Let's mark out. Like, what do we know? We know fair value gaps. What do we have right here? I'll even make it so evident for you guys. We'll make this yellow so you know what line I'm talking about. Alright, so pre-market we have a 1 hour fair value gap. We dump. Now, what do we think we're going to probably do? Come back and retrace into that fair value gap. And it's just so obvious. Like, I don't know. Like, and look perfectly. Where does price come? Right to that equilibrium of that fair value gap and dumps right off of it. And that's just what it is. And I had my stops below here, and I stuck to them, stopped out, lost $97, and it is what it is. Now, what probably should I have done is, like, looked pre-market and like, oh, wow, big imbalance there. Obviously, we're going to retrace there. And I should have either cut my whole position at that first take profit, and that would have been a scalp necessarily, or really waited and come. As you see, when we come down here, we sweep all these lows, and still reject off this accumulation order block area. And then we rip up. Kind of like I just wasn't patient. but it happens, you know. It is what it is. I learned. What I learned, high confluence areas stay away from. Stay away from smart money concepts in the other area, or know to trim my position. But yeah, I mean, it makes so much sense now, and that was the $97 loss, and it is what it is. I learned. But let's talk about my SPX trade. SPX is moving to the upside today. Obviously, we're bullish. 4 hour. Now, 4 hour, we weren't bullish, but we did fill a fair value gap, which I liked. Look at that. Come down, boom, reject off of that. Personally, I like that. Okay. Bit higher time frame, right? Okay. In pre-market, we're not bearish. Well, we're kind of bearish. We barely break structure on the 1 hour, which is not a big deal. Not the end of the world. So what do? I want to enter. Like I'm screaming this thing's gonna rip. And what do? We rip, obviously. Why are we not loading? I think it was a 30-minute order block. Maybe it might be 1 hour. Okay, more of a 1 hour. But we come down, so we filled this fair value gap, right? Ripped up. There's a little bit of an order block right here. Look at this. Move down, big move up. Mark the top of that order block. What do? Come down, reject off that area. Reject off that area. Like this is just screaming buy, you know, go long. And what do we do right when market opens? Let me remember my entry on this. I think it was just off the 5-minute breaker structure. But I think 5-minute breaker structure. I don't know why it's not loading. All right. So, I mean, I got a good fill here. I personally like that. I mean, I almost wanted to enter here off the rejection, but I was like, no, pre-market. What was one of my rules last week? Don't enter pre-market. So right away we start ripping. I'm like, okay, there's got to be a 1 minute fair value gap I can rip off. I had the 5-minute breaker structure marked out. So once we got that, I really liked it. Like these confluences start to stack up in your favor. Just don't know why we're not loading here. Can you still see me? Yep. Still running. Okay. Go back to where we were. Come on now. So where do I have marked out? Right here. This was about my entry. So we rip up this doji candle pre-market. Beautiful. Gives me a real prominent fair value gap. I mark it out. We reject into it, and I enter as soon as I can. Once I see the rejection, we come down. I see the rejection. I enter. Get filled right here. Now that's a solid fill, but I'll show you where I messed up. Not where I messed up, but more so what's wrong. Whoops. What I don't like about this trade. So, okay, first take profit. It's not even a 1-to-1. It's a 0.76. You see that number right there? I don't know why I'm pointing. Because I have my stops below these lows. It's a 0.71. I need to abolish that. We need to get rid of that take profit. Now first take profit is a 1 flat. I should have had that. Whole positions should have been sold right here. And then had a couple of these take profits right here is what should have happened. Now I'm just learning, guys. Like, come on, I'm learning. But what do I do? So the 1 take profit was like right around here, give or take. It's a 0.76 or wherever that was. So I sell half my position there, and I think I made like $26 right there. Then I sell the next half of my position right here, make $25. And then we come down, and I didn't want to lose any of my stops. So what I should have done, set a stop loss. I need to start setting stop loss. So I ended up selling the rest of my position right here for $1.50 just because I didn't want to go negative. But I mean, look at this. Hypothetically, say I get rid of this take profit, and that's my first take profit. Boom, we hit first take profit. We draw down a little bit. That's okay. Set the stops at break even. Let it go. Boom, second take profit. Boom, third take profit. Like, it's just like that. And even fifth take profit. Like, if you even want to get freaky, but like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, but what I learned from this trade, I think I wrote it down. Might have to add to it. I said need to lower lot size to 1. That's on Forex. Don't go against high time frame smart money concepts. Boom. TP1 needs to be 1-to-1. I'm going to add to that right as we speak. And then set stop loss for break even. Set stop SL at BE after TP1. That's huge. So those are my things, and what I'm trying to do is just remember to read these every day before I get into the market. Just remember, like, this is my experience. So in the end, after that big $100 loss, I ended up only losing $55. So I'm still at 115 towards my profit goal, which is just over probably 1.5%. And I also thought, like, this was my thought process more so. Let's full cam. Let me talk. All right. Oops, I can't do that. All right, so this is like my thought process I'm thinking here. So to become funded, you need to get 8%, which is $480. Now, if I made $60 each day, that's only 8 days. Now, some days there'll be more, some days there'll be less. Say you make 1.5%, that cuts the days down in almost half. It'd be like 5 days. So I really just need to, like, I have a small account, so I'm not gonna have big wins, right? Small account, small wins. If I had a 100K account, I'd have big wins. But you need to stick to that percentile win and loss. That's why I'm moving my lot size down on Forex. So therefore, I'm not having $100 loss. If I had one lot size there, I'm probably only losing like 50, 60 bucks, maybe 1%, not 1.5%. It's just like, I don't know. It's just really something I'm trying to dial in on these next 2 weeks. Because, like, so what, we have 3 trading days left. What? Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. Say I get 3%. That'd be what? 180? 60, 120, 180. So let's do, what am I at? 115 plus 180. I'm at 295. So what I need after that? 480 minus 295 is 184, or around there. So I need only 3 days of 1%. And I can, like, that's so easy. Like, what am I thinking? I don't know. It's just all a learning curve, really. And I hope, like, you guys like these videos. I enjoy the stock market a lot. But other than that, yep, I'm going to keep trading. I'm never going to stop. But yeah, God bless.